talk about 3 shifts you might want to make with your clothing pretty early on in pregnancy. Now, all 3 of these are not fashion shifts. I'm not talking about anything fashionable, and I will likely never talk about fashion in any of my videos. The purpose for these 3 things is talking more about comfort and keeping your body comfortable early on in pregnancy. With my first pregnancy, I slacked on doing most of these things, and by the time I finally shifted them, all I could remember thinking is, I wish I had done this sooner. So early in pregnancy, I feel like things already really start to shift and change and expand with that chest cavity. I definitely feel it pretty early on in that, as you're coming to like the second half of that first trimester, I'm already feeling tightness within my chest. And I have found that by switching to bras that had a wider chest measurement pretty early on, it gave me a dramatic sense of relief. I felt like so much pressure came off of my chest and I could breathe again. Now, a lot of your maternity bras will come with an additional piece within the bra packet that allows for extra room in that circumference. Not all of them do, but I'm sure most of them do. I haven't bought very many, so I can't talk on most of them. But you can buy, if you're doing like a traditional strap bra, you can buy just an extender piece. That way you can kind of keep wearing the ones that you already like. Or you can just buy sizes up. It kind of depends on what your preference is, but I highly recommend not sitting on that. Really feel, how does your breathing feel and how does your chest feel throughout the day? And if you're feeling any tightness, I would really venture into assessing your bra situation and moving up a size pretty early on. Second one, highly recommend. I feel like everyone knows that there are maternity pants during pregnancy, but often we feel like we have to wait for that baby bump to really show up before we start wearing those. And I am such a huge proponent of doing it sooner than that. As your body is going through all these shifts and all these changes, you're going to have some inflammation, you're going to have some bloating, you're going to have some just overall discomfort as you're literally building a human being. And having that tight pressure, having pants that aren't fitting us the right way during that time is just going to add to your discomfort. So I highly recommend, and I tell every woman that I work with, buy the pants early. Those pants will ride without you throughout that whole pregnancy. You might as well start wearing them now. I am such a huge proponent of not having anything tight around my stomach at all very early on. So I would really look into, what does your wardrobe feel like around your belly? And even if you're feeling so super early on in pregnancy, it is not too early to buy things that are fitting more comfortably, that have more give, and just give you the ability to really breathe, relax, and just exist in comfort. So those are 2 things. My third one to really keep in mind is, when we're moving throughout pregnancy, we're going to create more fluids. Sounds weird, promise it's not. We are females. We are used to weird. Weird is nothing. But you're gonna have more fluids, and I find that the more you prepare for that, it just makes your routine so much easier, especially if you're managing a job, family, house, all the things. What I find to work the best, and you gotta find what works for you, I like using the organic cotton thin panty liners, and it gives you the ability to, you can go through 1 or 2 of those throughout the day rather than having to go through 2 to 3 pairs of underwear throughout the day. A dramatic difference when it comes to switching those out. It just creates so much more ease in your life if you lean into those panty liners. And I lean into them pretty early on and then just kind of ride that throughout pregnancy. They make underwear that have built-in liners. They have a ton of options these days. So, buying the organic liners from the store doesn't have to be your only option. I would just really look into finding the option that works the best for you. I do prioritize, if you're using a liner of any sort, I do prioritize what it's made of personally, you know. And it's not meant to be a stressful topic at all. But the more we cut back on toxins, the more we cut back on things going into our body that aren't intended to and that can create chaos and havoc, the better our pregnancy is going to go. And buying organic liners is just one super easy way to avoid some unnecessary contaminants, like some unnecessary toxins that they unfortunately get away with putting in the majority of our options in the store when it comes to panty liners. Just spend a little time looking at it. Personally, I just lean into the organic ones, buy them in bulk, because like I said, you're gonna want it for the majority of your pregnancy. So, you know, kind of bulk up from the beginning, and it is going to save you so much hassle by just having those liners in there so that throughout the day, you're not overthinking this, and it's not going to interrupt your workflow. It's not going to interrupt your, you know, mom life flow. It's just going to help you get through the day easier. So these are my 3 recommendations of things to consider changing very early on. I'm talking first trimester, pretty much for all 3 of these. So lean into these and make the shifts sooner than you think you need to, because you're going to be happy